You're about to spend hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars on a Samsung TV, but hey, race the problem, most people buy the wrong one. They see Neo QLED OLED and they get lost. By the end of this video you know exactly which Samsung TV fits your room, your budget, and your eyes. Stick with me because number might surprise you. Let's go. Starting at number 1. Samsung S95F OLED. The Samsung S95F OLED is the best Samsung TV. Like any OLED, you get unrivaled black levels, so blacks are deep and inky in a dark room. Since it uses a QD-OLED panel, you also get incredibly bright and vibrant colors that can't be matched by traditional OLED displays. A lot of OLED models don't fare well in bright rooms, but this TV is the only OLED on the market that features a matte screen coating. Reflections are almost invisible on this TV, so overhead lights and even direct light sources facing the screen are a non-factor. Combined with its amazing peak brightness, visibility isn't an issue at all on this TV. Another positive is that it has a very wide viewing angle, so it's great for group settings. It comes with Samsung's unique Slim One Connect box, which gives you quick access to the inputs when the TV is wall-mounted and offers versatility for your setup. The TV is also equipped with a plethora of modern gaming features like 4 HDMI 2.1 ports, 4K at 165 Hz, and VRR, making it a great option for pairing with modern consoles and gaming PCs. It also has nearly instant pixel transitions, so motion is crisp and clear. In addition to that, it has exceptionally low input lag for a responsive feel. Home theater enthusiasts may be put off by Samsung's lack of Dolby Vision and DTS audio pass-through, but if you can live without those features, the S95F is one of the best TVs on the market. Number 2. Samsung S90F OLED. What if you don't need the matte coating, the One Connect box, or 165 Hz, and want to spend less? That's where the Samsung S90F OLED comes in, which is the best Samsung TV in the upper mid-range category. Being a QD OLED, you still get the same inky blacks and similarly vibrant colors as its older sibling. You also get impressive HDR brightness, so HDR content is impactful. Unfortunately, the TV isn't nearly as bright in SDR as the S95F, and it's not nearly as good with reflection handling due to its glossy coating, so there are some visibility issues in bright rooms. Still, you can watch TV and not be distracted by glare in moderately lit rooms. You also get the same wide viewing angle as the more expensive model, making it great for large seating arrangements. Despite not offering 165 Hz support, you can still game in up to 4K at 144 Hz with VRR on any of its 4 HDMI 2.1 ports. The TV has the same nearly instant pixel transitions and low input lag, so you get a sharp and smooth gaming experience. Like any Samsung TV, it doesn't support Dolby Vision or DTS audio pass-through, but it still offers HDR10+. If you're considering this TV, just keep in mind that only some sizes have a QD OLED panel, and even that varies by region. Number 3. Samsung S85F OLED. If you want an OLED, but the two picks above are out of your price range, consider the Samsung S85F OLED. It's not as bright as the Samsung S90F OLED, and it caps out at 4K at 120 Hz, but outside of that, the two TVs are remarkably similar. You still get the inky blacks, vivid colors, wide viewing angle, and the nearly instant response times QD OLEDs are known for. Even though the TV isn't as bright as its more expensive siblings, you can still watch SDR content in a room with a few lights on and not be distracted by reflections. There's a larger disparity in HDR brightness compared to the other two Samsung OLEDs, so highlights in dark scenes and entirely well-lit scenes don't pop out as much, but you still get a decently impactful HDR experience. Some PC gamers might feel like they're missing out by not having a 144 Hz refresh rate, but the TV still offers 4 HDMI 2.1 ports capable of 4K at 120 Hz with VRR, so the TV is fully compatible with the features offered by modern consoles. Unfortunately, like the S90F, there's a catch. In North America, only the 55-inch and 65-inch models use a QD OLED panel, whereas the larger options utilize a normal OLED panel. The rest of the world gets a OLED panel throughout all size options. You can determine what type of panel it is by looking at the model code. Number 4. Samsung QN80F. If you want a Samsung TV, but the QD-OLEDs above are too expensive, the Samsung QN80F is the best lower mid-range Samsung TV. It's a lot brighter than the Samsung S85F OLED and SDR, so it overcomes more glare in a well-lit room. Although the Samsung has local dimming to help deepen blacks, you don't get anything close to the inky blacks you get from OLEDs, and there's haloing around highlights. It has about the same HDR brightness as the S85F, but since its contrast ratio is much lower and it doesn't display as wide a range of colors, HDR content doesn't look as good on it. The TV's viewing angle is pretty narrow, so it's not as good for wide seating arrangements as the OLEDs above. Fortunately, it has HDMI 2.1 bandwidth, up to 4K at 144 Hz, and VRR, so it pairs excellently with modern gaming consoles. The TV's input lag is low on this model, but pixel response times are a lot slower than they are on OLEDs, so fast motion is a bit blurry. Like almost any Samsung model, it supports HDR10+, which helps HDR content look as good as it can on this model. Number 5. Samsung Q7F 2025. The Samsung Q7F 2025 is the best budget Samsung TV available. Samsung doesn't release many budget models anymore, and the ones they do release tend to have mediocre image quality. That's the case here, as the Q7F doesn't have local dimming to help deepen blacks, which leads to dark scenes looking washed out. The TV is also too dim to handle much glare at all in a room with the lights on, so it's best suited for a dimly lit environment. Its lack of brightness also means that HDR content looks underwhelming, since highlights don't stand out like they should. Colors are also more muted on this TV, and the image lacks vibrancy. Like the Samsung QN80F, it has a narrow viewing angle, so it's best viewed from directly in front of the screen. Unfortunately, this is a 60 Hz TV that's pretty bare bones in terms of gaming features. It doesn't have VRR to reduce screen tearing, and motion is blurry due to its slow pixel response times. However, 4K at 60 Hz gaming has decently low input lag, so at least gaming feels responsive. You still get HDR10+, which makes HDR content look a bit better, but that format doesn't save this TV from looking underwhelming. If you really want a budget Samsung TV, it's not the worst choice, but most people are better off shopping for a budget model from brands like TCL and Hisense. So those are the best Samsung TVs you can buy, but hey, race the secret, the best TV for you depends on one thing: your viewing distance and lighting. I left a link in the description. It's a free second quiz that tells you exactly which model fits your home. All product links for your purchase are in the video description, updated daily for prices. If this video saved you from a bad buy, hit that like button, share it with someone who's TV shopping right now, and subscribe, because next week we're comparing Samsung versus LG OLED head to head. Don't guess, watch first. I see you there.